So we'll discuss the problems of the whatever the existence of limit question I given to you. Uh, I'm putting the recorded session so that all of you can see the question solutions and we can save the some time. But remember, only watch this if you attempted the questions of whatever question I given to you. If you did not attempt it earlier, there is no use of attending this recording. So make sure you already attended. So let's get started with this. And every question I will solve it. Check it. What questions you have the problem. So that questions you can go through that one, right? So let's start with this one, and I will write the question. Maybe all of you are not able to see what exactly written it here. So I will write the questions here again. The first question I ask you that to check the existence of the limit x approaches to 0. This is the first question I'm talking. Limit x approaches to 0, greatest integer of 1 plus sine x. As you know that whenever you have to check the existence of limit to left hand limit, how do you write it? This, wherever it's approaching, x will be replaced by this minus h. So this will become 1 plus sine minus h, 0 minus h. Am I right? Sine 0 minus h will be what? Minus sine h. So that will become greatest integer of 1 minus sine h. I'm sure it's clear to everybody. And try to recall, sine h is a very small positive number. So sine h will be also a small positive number. So 1 minus sine h will be slightly less than 1. This is a slightly less than 1, and greatest integer will become what? 0. And right hand limit will be what? 1 plus sine 0 plus h. So that will be equal to greatest integer of 1 plus sine h. Am I right? And this is slightly greater than 1 quantity. Slightly greater than 1 quantity, greatest integer will become 1. Since these two are not equal, so we'll say limit does not exist. I hope it's clear to everybody, right? Now, second question, cross check it. Second question, what is given? Limit x approaches to n, greatest integer of x plus greatest integer of minus x. Minus x. And n is given as a natural number. N is given as a natural number. Anyway, so left hand limit, what is the rule? Ki replace x, this minus h. So will be greatest integer of n minus h plus minus of n minus h. Minus of n minus h means minus n plus h. Carefully. N minus h is what? An integer between just before n. So just before n integer will become what? N minus 1. Correct? Greatest integer. And this is the integer just after minus n. So greatest integer will become minus n. So value will be minus 1. Am I right? And right hand limit will be equal to what? Greatest integer of n plus h plus greatest integer of minus n minus h. To right hand limit, I will replace x by what? N plus h. So I wrote, replace it. Greatest integer of n plus h will be what? N, because this is slightly after n. N plus h means what? N plus h means n plus h. Suppose this is the n, this is your n plus 1, because these are integers, natural number. So n minus 1. So n plus h will be somewhere here. So whenever all of you know that greatest integer means left side integer, this n will come. So this value will become n, and this value will be what? This is the meaning is what? What is the meaning? Minus n minus h means what? The number just before minus n. Just before minus n, so greatest integer will become what? Minus n minus 1. Have you understand? So value will be minus 1. So these two are equal to, we'll say limit exist. Limit exist. Am I right? And remember, whenever limit exists, means this limit will have value, and value of this limit we can say minus 1. I'm sure it's clear to everybody. Now, we'll see next question. That is the third question. A little bit faster I will go. As I told you that those who attempted the question, they only will understand. Third one, this limit x approaches to 0, e power 1 by x minus, plus e power minus 1 by x divided by e power 1 by x minus e power minus 1 by x. So rule is same, exactly same. Left hand limit h approaches to 0, x will be replaced by 0 minus h. So it will become e power minus 1 by h plus e power minus 1 by minus h, so 1 by h, divided by e power minus 1 by h plus e power 1 by h. minus. Is this clear? Now try to recall. Whenever h approaches to 0, 1 by h will approach towards infinity. Am I right? And e power 1 by h will approach where? Infinity. Why so? By e is the greater than 1. No? Greater than 1 power infinity is the infinity, approaches to infinity. But e power minus 1 by h will approach where? 0. Why so 0? By h is near to 0, minus 1 by h means minus infinity. So e power minus infinity will approach towards 0. So what is the form of this limit? 0 plus infinity by 0 minus infinity means infinity by infinity is form. Who is creating infinity by infinity? E power 1 by h. So divide by e power 1 by h, numerator as well as denominator. Whoever create indeterminate form, we have to divide by that. So e power 1 by h is creating indeterminate form. I will divide by e power 1 by h. So this will become e power minus 2 by h, because e power 1 minus 1 by h by e power 1 by h will become e power minus 2 by h, plus 1 divided by e power minus 2 by h minus 1. Now e power minus 2 by h will approach towards 0. E power x graph is what? What is the graph of e power x? This is the graph of e power x. Yes or no? If this is the graph of e power x, so when x is near to minus infinity, e power 1 by x, e power x will be near to 0. You can see here. So this is 0, this is 0, and this is also 0. The value will become what? 1 by minus 1 means minus 1. Same way, right hand limit. Limit h approaches 0. Now this time x will be replaced by 0 plus h. So this will become e power 1 by h plus e power minus 1 by h divided by e power 1 by h minus e power minus 1 by h. I hope able to understand. Again, same drama. This is the infinity, this is the 0, this is the infinity, this is 0, to infinity by infinity form. Who is creating infinity by infinity form? E power 1 by h. So divide numerator and denominator by e power 1 by h. So this will become 1 plus e power minus 2 by h divided by 1 minus e power minus 2 by h. Again, this value will be 0 because this is the e power minus infinity. This value will be also 0, and which is going to be equal to 1. These two are not equal. Limit does not exist. It's a good question. It's I think old JEE question, right? So this is the things you have to see. Existence of limit. Follow the rule. Don't try to do oral or something like that. Otherwise, it will be later problem. Maybe you are doing slow if you are following rule, but believe me, it will help you if you go step by step. Next question, question number 4th. I'm just deleting this part. Question number 4th. Question number 4, check it here. Limit x approaches to 0, sine inverse secant x. Actually, we should not solve. Simply we say that key limit does not exist. Why so? X is near to 0. Is the x near to 0? X means what? X is near to 0. X is near to 0. This is what you have to keep in mind. Means x is not 0. First thing. So sine inverse, see, we are very comfortable with the sine cos tan. We are not very comfortable with the secant cos now. So we can write this question this way. 1 by cos x. Yes or no? Think, x is not 0. X is not 0, so this will not be 1. This is cos x. This indicates cos x is not 1. So cos x is not 1, so surely this will be less than 1. 1 by less than 1 will be greater than 1. So this quantity is greater than 1. Either you are going from left hand side or you're going from right hand side. This value is always greater than 1. And sine inverse is defined, sine inverse x is defined only if x is linearly minus 1 and 1. Are you getting my point? So this value is greater than 1. So this itself is not defined. We'll say does not exist. Does not exist. Some students' notes I've seen, they wrote like this. Watch carefully. They say, sir, left hand limit will come, limit h approaches 0, sine inverse, secant 0 minus h means secant h. By secant minus theta, and right hand limit also coming, sir, same. See, both are same. And you taught, sir, कि whenever both are same, limit exists. अरे भैया, both are same means how can you say limit cannot be compared? Value of limit can be compared. These two limit you cannot compare. this itself is not defined. This is also not defined. You cannot say, sir, not defined is equal to not defined to limit exist. Equal symbol we use for comparing finite number. Understood my point? So limit does not exist. Those who remember, two limits cannot be compared. This line always remember, two limits cannot be compared. Only value of limit can be compared. So some student, what they say, कि both are same, no need of sir asked to check just existence of limit. Both are same, so limit exists. Arey, both are not same, bhai. Both are not defined. Two not defined cannot be same. I'm sure it's clear to everybody, right? I'm deleting this, and if anybody is by chance could not write it, please pause and write it, because that much time is not there. I will keep time. Next question. Question number 5. Question number 5. Limit x approaches to 0, greatest integer of e power x minus 1 by x. One thing always remember. Whenever you have to check existence of limit, always check, is it limit is the indeterminate form. If it's indeterminate form, first step, convert in the determinant. So this limit, I will say either it's exist or not. This will be same as L'Hospital rule apply. E power x differences on e power x 1. So greatest integer of e power x. In place of checking this, I will check this. Why, sir? Because here checking is the slightly difficult, because the indeterminate form inside greatest integer. If you get indeterminate form, I will always suggest कि first convert in the determinant form and then try to check it. So now this is the question. We'll check it. What we'll do? Left hand limit. Left hand limit will be limit h approaches 0, greatest integer of e power x will be replaced by 0 minus h, means minus h. Think carefully. E power x graph. Some people have allergy with the graph. I cannot do anything with them. E power x graph is this. With the graph. E power minus h. Think carefully. This is 1. Exactly 1. This is a 0, 1 coordinate. No? Minus h is where? Minus h is here, just before 0. Just before 0 minus. Means corresponding to minus h, e power minus h is below 1. So this value will be e power minus h, I can say slightly less than 1. Slightly less than 1. Means if anybody asking what is the approx value of e power minus h, that is the 0.99999999. So this is slightly less than 1. Get us into here 0. Do you understand? Right hand limit of this, limit h approaches to 0, greatest integer of e power h. Think carefully. Where is h? H is here. Corresponding to h, e power h is bigger than 1. Slightly bigger than 1. Means e power h value, if anybody asking you, that will be 1.00000. So that value is the greater than 1. Means this value lying between 1 and 2, the greatest integer will become 1. These two are not equal. Limit does not exist. Limit does not exist. I hope everybody understood the point. Did you understand? Next question, question number 6. I'm deleting this part. Question number 6, we are going to deal with that. Question number 6. Simple assignment here. A very simple assignment. This is not JEE main level also. Limit x approaches to 0, greatest integer of ln 1 plus x by x. Am I right? Limit x approaches to 0, ln 1 plus x by x. Now, again, if I'll put 0, it's a 0 by 0 form. I will not check right now. First, I will convert in the determinant form. So I can say this limit exactly, either it's exist or not exist. This limit will be same as 1 by 1 plus x. Sir, how? L'Hospital rule. ln 1 plus x differences in 1 by 1 plus x and x differences in 1. So this is key. Now here checking is very easy. So left hand limit will be limit h approaches to 0. Greatest integer of 1 by 1 minus h, because x will be replaced by 0 minus h. Remember, 0 minus this minus h. 1 minus h is slightly less than 1. So 1 by 1 minus h will be greater than 1. Yes or no? Because this is the less than 1. So 1 by less than 1, greater than 1, greatest integer 1. Right hand limit, limit h approaches to 0, greatest integer of 1 by 1 plus h. 1 plus h is greater than 1. So 1 by 1 plus h will be less than 1. So greatest integer will become 0. These two are not equal. Limit does not exist. Limit does not exist. Limit does not exist. Am I right? Huh. Very clear, no? Huh. Next question. So this many simple questions I am asking. And then also people cry. Logic apply, you can see I'm not applying any kind of the trick or any kind of the application method. Basic logic always do. You will never face problem. Initially problem will be there because some student who will be having the direct some shortcut, these, that, so they will do faster, you will do slower. But remember, in JEE, shortcut never work. Next, question number 7, cross check. Limit x approaches to pi, greatest integer of cos x. Now see, this is the determinant form, no? So directly we can check it. So left hand limit h approaches to 0, greatest integer of cos pi minus h. Cos 180 minus theta is what? Minus cos theta. So this will be limit h approaches to 0, greatest integer of minus cos h. I told you, no? Hello? I told you about the sin h cos h. It's very useful. Every time it will come. Sin h is very near to 0 here. This is the sin h. Cos h is very near to 1, but still less than 1. This is the cos h. This picture you should remember. And this is the tan h also. Means tan h, sin h just after 0. Cos h just before 1. Right? So this value, cos h is less than 1, minus cos h will be greater than minus 1. Minus by cos h greater less than 1. So minus, if you multiply both sides, minus cos h greater than minus 1. Means minus cos h greater than minus 1, so greatest integer will become minus 1. Yes or no? Right hand limit, like check. Limit h approaches 0, greatest integer of cos pi plus h. So that will be equal to greatest integer of minus cos h. Now listen one point, everybody. From these, some student always, again I am telling to those people who compare the limit. They say, sir, both are same. Directly say, no, don't compare the limit. Compare the limit value. So this limit value minus 1, this value also will come minus 1. So these two are equal, limit exists. These two are equal, limit exists. These two are equal, limit does not, you cannot say exist or not. I told you the example there. Am I right? So here limit exists and value will be minus 1. In fact, this kind of question, I will suggest you to go by the graph method. I know some people have the allergy with the graph, but I don't have. Go with the graph method. It's a very easy. Cos x graph. Cos x graph, how it used to be. Cos x graph this way. Yes or no? Full graph I'm not trying. I'm just trying at whatever needed. This is the pi by 2. And this is your pi. This point is pi. At pi value is minus 1. Look carefully. Limit x approaches to pi means you are moving towards pi. So either you will move from left hand side or you move from right hand side at pi minus 1. But just before pi or just after pi, this value is bigger than minus 1. See, corresponding to this also, it's bigger than minus 1. Corresponding to this also, my graph is going up like this now. So this value will be bigger than minus 1. This value also will be bigger than minus 1. Means cos x will be always bigger than minus 1 near in the neighborhood of pi. So greatest integer will be minus 1 only. So directly you can say minus 1. No need of doing all those drama. Simple question can be done by using graph. Every question I'm not saying, but simple question you can do directly. Am I right? Question number 8. Question number 8, check it everybody. 8th one. What is that? Limit x approaches to pi by 2, greatest integer of 3 sin x. So simple question. Means very simple question. One way you do by the lengthy process, if you are not going by the graph method, limit h approaches to 0, greatest integer of 3 sin pi by 2 minus h. All of you know 3 pi by sin pi 90 minus theta is the cos theta. So limit h approaches 0, greatest integer of 3 cos h. Think, cos h is very close to 1. So 3 cos h will be very close to 3. Cos h less than 1. 3 cos h will be less than 3. Understood? Cos h cannot be equal to 1, remember. So 3 less than 3. How much less? Very less. This much. Very less. Means this value is approximately 2.99999999. So greatest interior will become 2. Are you getting my point? Right hand limit. Limit h approaches 0. Greatest interior of 3 sine pi by 2 plus h. So that will be equal to what? Limit h approaches 0. Greatest interior of 3 cos h. Cos h. Again I'm saying these two don't compare. Value compare. So 3 cos h again less than 3. Greatest interior will be 2. These two are equal. Limit exists. I will suggest you to go by graph. It's much easier, right? So question number 9. Question number 9. Let's say question number 9. Question number 9. What is that? Find the value of limit x approaches to 1 if fx equal to 7x minus 6 if x lie between 0 and 1, and this is the e power x minus 1 plus ln x if x is greater than equal to 1, but yeah, that's what x greater than equal to 1. X greater than equal to 1. Right? They're asking you check existence of limit. So we'll say left hand limit h approaches 0, f of 1 minus h. X will be replaced by 1 minus h. I replace it. This kind of the function is called the split function. What function? Split function. F of 1 minus h will be defined either from here or from here. This will tell. We have to use fx this value whenever x is less than 1. So here x is less than 1. So I will use this value. So we'll say 7, 1 minus h minus 6. Of course, limit h approaches 0. This is the else form of the limit. So h equal to 0 directly I can put because this is the determinant form. H equal to 0, if you put it, answer will be 1. Right hand limit h approaches 0, f of 1 plus h. So that will be equal to what? 1 plus h greater than 1 will be defined from here. So 1 plus h minus 1 means h plus ln 1 plus h. Else form, determinant form, directly h equal to 0, I'll put the ln 1 becomes 0, e power 0 is the 1, the value 1. So these two are equal, means limit exists. Have you understand? Am I clear to everybody? Remember, this kind of question, again, you don't have to do this much drama. What you can say, I have to check this limit. Means before 1, what is the value? Put 1 here itself. 7 minus 6. Means before 1 value is 1. Just put 1 here. After 1, what is the value? Put 1 here. So e power 0 plus 1, ln 0, 1. So both are equal. Split kind of function directly can be said. No need of writing that. But limit x approaches to 1 means what? Tell fx value before 1. So before 1, I will use this function, 7, x replaced by 1. So 7 minus 6, 1. After 1 means right hand limit, put 1 here. So e power 0 plus 1, ln 1, that 0 means 1. So both are equal. Am I right? So this is the question that one. Now question number 10. Question number 10. Very, very simple question. Limit x approaches to 0, 3x by 10x. Check. Again, I told you, whenever inside greatest interior, indeterminate form is there. To check existence, always convert in the determinant form. So this will be same as limit x approaches 0. L'Hospital rule I'm applying. So this will become 3 by secant square x. And that is equal to limit x approaches to 0, greatest interior of 3 cos square x. Now it's become very simple. Yes or no? Very, very simple. By left hand limit h approaches to 0, greatest interior of 3 cos square 0 minus h means h. Cos minus h is the cos square h. I told you cos h less than 1. So cos square h 100% less than 1. Actually more less than 1. Right? So this is the less than 1. So 3 cos square h will be less than 3. So greatest interior will become 2. Right hand limit h approaches to 0, greatest interior of 3 cos square h. Don't compare these. Value again 2. Those two are equal. Limit exists. Very simple question. I'm sure able to understand everybody. Yes? Now, Question number 11. Question number 11. Chali, what is the 11th question? Where gone? Here. Limit x approaches to 2, greatest integer of x plus 1 by 2 plus fractional part of x square. Right? First thing, always whenever fractional part of is coming, always convert that in the greatest integer. Your life will become very simple then. It will be, we are very comfortable with the greatest integer. Easily we can tell ki between what integer it's lying, and then left side integer will be answer. So this question, first I will change it. No, question I'm not changing. I'm just representation I'm changing. How? We know that ki x always written as a greatest integer x plus fractional part of x. So fractional part of x always can be written as a x minus greatest integer x. So using this logic, because we are more comfortable with the greatest integer. So greatest integer x plus 1 by 2 plus x square minus greatest integer of x square. Yes or no? Yes or no? Now, left hand limit. Let's start. Limit h approaches to 0. X will be replaced by 2 minus h. So, greatest integer of 2 minus h plus 1 by 2 plus 2 minus h whole square minus greatest integer of 2 minus h whole square. Watch it. It look very dirty. Oh, this many greatest integer, chin chan chu. It's very simple. Cool down and look, concentrate. What is this? This is a 2 plus 1 by means 2.5 minus something. Wait, this is, concentrate here, no? This is slightly less than 2.5. Or slightly less than 2.5, then also it will lie between 2 and 3 or not. This value, this, check it here. 2 plus 1 by 2. 1 by 2 means 0.5. So 2.5 minus h means what? Slightly less than 2.5. But it still lie between 2 and 5, 2 and 3. So greatest integer 2. So this value will be 2. Plus, this is nothing else form. It's a determinant form. Directly h equal to 0 I can put. So 4. This part, look. 2 minus h slightly less than 2. So 2 minus h whole square. Hello? 2 minus h slightly less than 2. Not very much, slightly. So if you square both sides, so 2 minus h whole square less than slightly less than 4. So greatest integer will become how much? 3. Right? This value will lie between 3 and 4. Because less than 4 means it won't cross. I'm saying less than 4. He'll say, sir, less than 4 can come here also. 0 also can be happen. This is slightly less than 4. Means somewhere here. So greatest integer will be what? Left side integer. So 3. So this value 3 minus 3. Value will be what? 3. Have you understand? See, look wise, it will be dangerous. They will try to make you scared. But you don't have to be. Right hand limit. Limit h approaches to 0. Greatest integer of 2 plus h. X will be replaced by 2 plus h. Plus 1 by 2. Greatest integer plus 2 plus h whole square. Here 2 plus h whole square. Minus greatest integer of 2 plus h whole square. Yes or no? This is. Think carefully. Again, this is what? This is the 2.5 plus h. Slightly bigger than 2.5. To greatest integer. 2 only. Wait. Between 2 and 3 only. So this value 2. This is the else form. H equal to 0. Directly I can put 4. This is slightly bigger than 2. 2 plus h slightly bigger than 2. Watch it. Watch it here, everybody. See, any point you're writing, you can pause and write because I will keep on roughing. 2 plus h bigger than 2. How much bigger? Or 2 plus h means 2.0000001, something like that. Whole square, 2 plus h whole square, bigger than 4. Is it very much bigger? No. It will be somewhere here. Means it will lie between 4 and 5 only. So minus 4. This value will become 4. Greatest integer. The value will be 2. These two are not equal. Limit does not exist. Limit does not exist. I'm sure everybody understood. Is this clear to everybody? So this was the question number 11. Next. If anybody is still writing, they can pause and write. Question number 12. Very simple question. Root of x square minus 6x plus 9 divided by x minus 3. First thing, this is nothing but limit x approaches to 3. Root of x minus 3 whole square by x minus 3. Never do mistake. Root x square is always mod x. This will be limit x approaches to 3 mod x minus 3 by x minus 3. Question over. Left hand limit will be limit h approaches to 0 mod of 3 minus h minus 3. 3 minus h minus 3 by 3 minus h minus 3. So this will become mod of minus h by minus h. Mod of minus h will be h, to h by minus h. Remember, everywhere limit h approaches 0. h by because h is not 0, the value minus 1. And right hand limit h approaches to 0, mod of 3 plus h minus 3 divided by 3 plus h minus 3. So that will be mod of h by h. Mod h will be h itself, to h by h, value will be 1. These two are not equal, limit does not exist. But if you by chance, if you wrote that root x square is the x, so remember, things will be changed. That's why I given this question, so that you should remember root x square is always mod x. Root x square is always mod x. Keep in mind. Next, question number 13th. Question number 13. Limit x approaches to 0, tan inverse 1 by x plus cot inverse 1 by x square. Before I start this question, you should know two graphs. Which two graphs, sir? Y equal to tan inverse x graph. Tan inverse x is a strictly increasing graph class. I hope all of you attended. It's very important. This is, and y equal to cot inverse x graph is the decreasing graph. Yeah, something like this. So if anybody asking, tan inverse infinity will be here, is pi by 2. This is the pi by 2. Tan inverse infinity will approach towards pi by 2. Tan inverse minus infinity will approach towards minus pi by 2. Cot inverse infinity, everything I'm trailing by the graph, I don't remember. Cot inverse infinity, if you go, it approaches towards 0. See? And cot inverse minus infinity will approach towards pi. This is the pi. Everything inverse graph, I already taught you the graph method very clearly. You should keep in mind. Now this question, nothing left in the question. Left hand limit will be limit h approaches to 0. X will be replaced by 0 minus h. So tan inverse minus 1 by h plus cot inverse minus h whole square means 1 by h square. Think carefully. H approaches to 0. This will 1 by h approach infinity. So this is the minus infinity. Tan inverse minus infinity minus pi by 2 plus cot inverse infinity is 0. The value will be minus pi by 2. Have you understand the point? Right hand limit, if you talk, limit h approaches to 0. Tan inverse 1 by h plus cot inverse 1 by h square. So tan inverse infinity pi by 2 plus cot inverse infinity is 0 itself, so pi by 2. These two are not equal, limit does not exist. Am I clear to everybody? Is it clear? Next, question number 14. Question number 14. Very simple question. Limit x approaches to 0 1 by 3 minus 3 power 1 by x. Right? Left hand limit h approaches to 0, 1 by 3 minus 3 power minus 1 by h. Watch carefully. Y equal to 3 power x graph, you remember? A power x graph when a greater than 1. So when x approaches to minus infinity, 3 power x approaches to 0. And when x approaches to plus infinity, 3 power x also approach infinity. Yes or no? So minus 1 by h, 1 by h will approach towards infinity. So minus 1 by h approach minus infinity. So this is 3 power minus infinity. 3 power minus infinity near to 0. Means this is near to 0. So answer will be 1 by 3. Have you understand? By 3 power infinity will approach towards infinity. By the graph I am telling, 3 power minus infinity will approach towards 0. And 1 by h is 0. So 1 by h will be infinity. Minus 1 by h will be minus infinity. Right hand limit. Limit h approaches to 0. 1 by 3 minus 3 power 1 by h. Again, h approaches 0. 1 by h approach infinity. 3 power infinity approach infinity. Means this value, total value is the infinity. This total value, infinity. By 3 minus infinity, the infinity only. Minus infinity only. Minus infinity. 1 by infinity form always give you 0. So these two are not equal. Limit does not exist. Does not exist. I'm sure everybody understood the point clearly. Right? Next question. Next question. What is that? For which one? 15th one. 15th question. Limit x approaches to 3, sine inverse log x by 3 base 3. Left hand limit h approaches to 0, sine inverse log 3 minus h by 3 base 3. Think carefully. 3 minus h. 3 minus h is what? This is the else form of the limit, no? Hello? This is else form of the limit. Except I did correct now? Else form of the limit. So h directly I can put log 3 by 3. That will be 1. And log 1 base 3 will be what? 0. So this value will be what? 0. Sine inverse 0 is the 0. I hope everybody understood. But this is the else form. There is no indeterminate form. Very much defined. The h equal to 0, put it 3 by 3, 1. Log 1 base 3, 0. Sine inverse 0 is the 0. Right hand limit. Limit h approaches 0. Sine inverse log 3 plus h. Why this question I mentioned? I did not know. It's a very simple question. Again, else form, h equal to 0, 3 by 3, 1. Log 1 base 3, 0. Sine inverse 0 is 0. Both are equal. Limit exists. Limit exists. Actually, I was trying to give some other question. I given some other question. Okay, no problem. And have you understand? Next, question number 16. It's a conceptual question. So I given you. Question number 16 is the very much conceptual question. I will just copy that question and put it here so that everybody can see. Just a second. Give me a second. Yes. Okay. I will write it. I given that the limit x approaches to a fx exist and limit x approaches to a gx does not exist. But both left hand limit and right hand limit are finite. Means they are not infinite. They are finite. Means one left hand limit may be 1, right hand limit may be 3. Something like that. Am I right? And the first bit I'm asking you, limit x approaches to a, fx plus minus gx will exist or not? Yeah, this is exist, this is does not exist. So 100% sure the addition subtraction does not exist. You can prove also. F of a minus h plus minus g of a minus h. F of a plus h plus minus g of a plus h. G of A minus H not equal to G of A. This line means what? G of A minus H not equal to G of A plus H. So that's why these two summation will not be equal. Understood my point? Second way. Limit x approaches to A fx plus x minus A whole square gx. Here we will solve it. Left hand limit will be what? Limit h approaches 0, f of A minus h plus minus h, A minus h minus A whole square. Means minus h whole square g of A minus h. Remember, h approaches 0. This is near to 0 and this is some finite number. 0 into some finite number will be 0. Means this will be equal to f of A minus h. Correct? And right hand limit, limit h approaches 0, f of A plus h plus my h whole square g of A plus h. Since this is the finite number, although these two are not equal, but this is the finite number and this is the 0, so 0 into finite number 0, and that will be equal to limit h approaches 0, f of A. I don't know what is the f of A minus h and what is the f of A plus h, but I know both are equal. Both are equal because this exists. So we'll say that this limit exists. So this will be exist. I'm sure you understood everybody. Correct? So this is what the meaning of this, the assignment which I given you just because of this purpose. Go through each and every point. By chance, if any point you did not understand, rewind it and try to see. If you still could not understand, you can ask to me. All right? See, thank you very much to all of you.